From early childhood, we are subtly conditioned to prioritize the expectations of others. Parents praise us for being good kids when we behave the way they want. Teachers reward compliance. Society, too, offers approval when we follow the rules, unwritten and spoken. But behind these patterns lies a deeper question: whose life are we really living? To live for yourself is not a selfish act. It is the most responsible, courageous, and meaningful path a person can walk. It demands introspection, defiance, patience, and at times, loneliness. But it is the only path where your soul can fully breathe. In this long exploration, we will look deeply into why we feel the need to please others, the psychological roots of people-pleasing, philosophical ideas that challenge conformity, how to identify your authentic desires, practical tools to start living for yourself. Let's begin at the root. People-pleasing is not a random habit. It has roots in evolutionary biology and early childhood psychology. As social creatures, humans survived not by strength or speed but by belonging. Being ostracized in the tribe meant death. Our nervous systems are wired to interpret rejection as a threat. That biological inheritance still echoes in our modern minds. As children, we internalize emotional cues. If a parent frowns when we speak up or withdraws love when we assert independence, we adapt. We learn that love is conditional, and we start performing. Our identity begins to mold around being accepted. Soon, the fear of disapproval outweighs the joy of authenticity. This is how a person wakes up at 30 or 50, suddenly realizing, I don't know who I am outside of what others want from me. Carl Jung famously said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But we spend decades crafting masks: the dutiful son, the perfect employee, the likable friend, the understanding partner. These personas are not inherently false. They emerge as adaptations. But when we become trapped in them, we lose the spontaneous vitality that makes us unique. Living for others often means suppressing desires, censoring emotions, and prioritizing harmony over truth. It is a psychological death by 1,000 cuts. You smile when you're exhausted. You agree when you feel resistance. You apologize for taking up space. In time, the mask becomes so tight, it hurts to breathe. Enter Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche's entire philosophy is a thunderous rejection of conformity. He saw morality, religion, and societal norms as systems designed to domesticate the individual. His concept of the Übermensch, Overman, was not about superiority, but transcendence, rising above inherited values to create one's own. He wrote, "Become who you are." This is not a slogan. It's a call to existential revolution. Nietzsche believed that true freedom comes not from obeying external authorities, but from becoming the author of your life. That means questioning everything: career, family roles, religion, love. To live for yourself is to become your own compass. Many people don't realize the cost of self-abandonment. It shows up in subtle ways: chronic resentment, low energy, anxiety around saying no, passive-aggressive behavior, feeling like an imposter in your own life. Your psyche knows when you're betraying yourself. The soul keeps the score. Depression often stems from unexpressed truth. Anxiety is the tension between who you are and who you pretend to be. We think being liked is the highest goal, but in doing so, we trade authenticity for approval. And here's the truth: being liked is not the same as being loved. To live for yourself, you must be willing to disappoint people. This is one of the hardest psychological muscles to build. The first time you say no, and stand by it, your body may react with panic. That's okay. You're dismantling years of conditioning. You are not responsible for managing everyone's emotions. Ask yourself, would I rather disappoint others or abandon myself? The answer will determine the trajectory of your life. Learning to tolerate others' discomfort without internalizing it is a profound spiritual practice. It's not cruelty. It's integrity. Carl Jung's idea of the shadow refers to the parts of ourselves we repress. These often include traits that were shamed in childhood. Anger, ambition, sexuality, independence. Living for yourself means reclaiming your shadow. It's not about indulging every impulse, but integrating the parts of you that were silenced. When you do, you become whole. Unlived parts of ourselves don't disappear, they fester. Shadow work is not easy, but it is essential. When you welcome all parts of yourself, you no longer need to seek approval. You become your own home. Here's the paradox: most people don't know what they truly want because they've never had permission to ask. Start here. What energizes me, even when I'm tired? What do I envy in others? A clue to unlived desires. If no one judged me, what would I do? What do I do when no one is watching? Desire is a compass. But it speaks softly. You must create space to listen. Journaling. Solitude. Saying no to obligations that drain you. These are not luxuries, they are survival tools for the soul. Living for yourself is a practice, not a destination. It requires daily honesty, saying what you mean, not explaining every boundary, doing things because they feel true, not because they impress. You will lose people. But you will find yourself. The cost is high, but the reward is freedom. Self-loyalty is not about living in isolation. It's about building relationships where you don't have to shrink. When you stop living for others, something magical happens: you begin to create. Art. Meaning. Vision. You stop reacting and start initiating. You move from passive to proactive, pleasing to leading, fear to alignment. You become the author, not the actor. You no longer wait for permission. You create your own rituals, values, and systems. Nietzsche called this the revaluation of all values. It's terrifying and exhilarating. But it is the core of liberation. Living for yourself doesn't mean shouting "me first" at the world. It means moving quietly, honestly, and firmly in alignment with your truth. It's a rebellion against the tyranny of expectations. And here's the twist: when you live for yourself, you often end up being of greater service to others, not through sacrifice, but through presence, creativity, and real love. Because the most powerful gift you can give the world is a fully alive you. Become who you are. Not who they need you to be. Not who they expect you to be. But who you were always meant to be, before the world told you otherwise. That's not selfish. That's sacred.